Well, okay, the thing is, I wanted to talk to someone about this, but not everyone's available all the time, so I guess I'll explain it in a way I know how. So, everyone about everything ever is right. Uh, you know, like I was actually telling my brother, um, we have these. So you know how like people follow like QAnon bullcrap. You know how people are like, oh, Trump's so stupid. Let's vote Biden into office. He'll fix COVID. He'll fix this. He'll fix that. Right. Well, those people are right, and so are the people who believe in QAnon. Those people are right too. Well, how can they both be right? Right? I mean, it's paradoxical. Well, the thing is, I solved paradoxical physics, or I proved it, because I just simply solved quantum physics in a way that didn't result in a paradox this time. So, I mean, essentially, what that posits, it's that. See, John Archibald Wheeler was so close, so close. He's like, okay, I think that the fabric wave function is like a closed circuit, or it should be like, because we all seem to have started in the same place, the same singularity, and then we evolved from there and like all that crap, right? But what he didn't realize, or I guess, well, he died before he realized it, or before he like wrote it down in any sense, is well, he died in 2008, and what he didn't realize, I guess, or ever figure out was, yes, it starts as a closed circuit, and it ends as a closed circuit. So it's like, okay, we all have the same starting point and we all have the same end point. So we're all right. We're all working towards the same goal, actually. We're just like retarded slightly. So you're about to see this play out, I believe, on Twitter. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But just entertain the hypothetical. So, you know, Trump and the DOJ and FBI and all that crap is all playing out right now. And what I believe, I'm hazarding a guess. Yes, it's in favor of Trump in the meantime, but it's in favor of the rest of the government in the long term. So listen to this hypothetical. So basically, essentially, you know, you have to put yourself in someone's shoes. You have to practice empathy. Usually, Americans don't practice empathy, but they claim they do. So you have to assume, okay, just assume you're Trump. You're like this highly autistic guy that has no like real way to like manage the way he articulates himself, so he comes off as brash and rude, and he doesn't have the social cue thing in his mind since he's autistic to like tell him that, hey, you're coming off this way. The only way he knows that is like if he goes back and watches himself, and then he's like, oh shit. But like he just plays into the brand because it's like, well, can't do anything about it except lean into it because people seem to like that. Anyways, so you're this highly autistic guy who's like successful, like, I don't know, what, 100, 200 businesses, and only like 3 of those went bankrupt as a strategy or something like that. So you think you know what's good for the world because you're like, okay, I'm so successful that I've done this, I've done that, I've been president, I've done this. like where have I literally gone wrong? Like, if I was a retard, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this, right? Because retards don't like retard themselves into success. Like, it just doesn't really happen. Anyways, so he has like these documents from his time when he was in office, and he's like, okay, well, the next administration is evil, so they're gonna try to overturn this. I need to save the world. So yes, I'll do to some extent of what I need to do here, but I'll keep this other information hidden because this other information, if fallen into the wrong hands, could spell doom for the world. But what he didn't understand is, or what people don't understand, is that we're all trying to save the world. So the FBI is like, well, how can you like have these documents, dude? Like you're going against like American ideals. You're like literally antithetical to the US's. But what they're trying to do is like they're trying to like defend themselves. They're like, no. The FBI isn't like corrupt or anything. We're just simply observing this, and we're just trying to fix it. So they're right too, right? And then the Democrats are just gonna jump on this. They're gonna be like, oh, Trump, because I don't know, they just have a hard on for hating him, and I guess since he's autistic, And American society seems to gaslight autistic people. I don't know if this is really a problem elsewhere, since I can't really speak to that. I don't really live in Russia or China or anywhere else in the world. Um, anyways, yeah, so what's going to play out is like he's going to reveal these documents, and then it's going to be like these like damning documents or something like, and people are going to be like, you lied, you son of a gun, blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to be like, well, because from his perspective, he's just trying to save the world, right? So he's like, oh, well, it made sense for me not to have this turn over into enemy hands. But the thing is, he's only perceiving that the other side is the enemy because they've gaslit him this whole time into thinking that there's differences between us because, the media just likes to value like clicks and stuff. So the most like vitriolic, like attention grabbing news is always going to come to the top, even if it's not true. And then even if it gets proven false later, well, like no one's going to like really go and follow that up, right? So like when once news hits you, you absorb it, and then you don't really like follow up on the extra details. No one really does that. I mean, come on. Don't pretend you do. Even I know I don't like. So essentially what I think is about to happen is, yeah, this is all about to play out. And it's all just going to be one huge misunderstanding in like all three factors here. I guess the FBI, Trump and his team or whatever, and the current administration are all going to be blaming each other. But they were all like trying to like, it's a national security threat. So they all believed each other were enemies, right? So they're all like trying to stop each other. But they're like trying to do the same thing actually. And if they just like teamed up, then like the issue would instantly be resolved. Trump could be like, oh, the reason why I hid these documents is because I believed these guys were going to use it for this, and these guys are going to be like, no, we thought you were going to use it for that, which is why we tried so hard to get it out of your hands. See, like everyone's just because the quantum wave function is like it's a closed circuit. The theoretical physicists, remember John Archibald Wheeler, it's a closed circuit. We all start at the same singularity, but we all come to the same understanding later. That's just the way it works. Sorry that physics proves that we were all just like retarded. I mean, science always does that.